The Rebellion Against Solo Success: Why Community Driven Entrepreneurship Will Change Everything. Welcome, everyone. Today, I want to share something that has fundamentally shifted my understanding of what true success looks like. I'm thrilled to bring you insights from my recent deep dive with Charlotte Engel, a revolutionary researcher whose work is shattering conventional wisdom about entrepreneurship in America. Charlotte isn't just documenting business trends, she's uncovering a seismic shift in how power moves through our economy. Her research has revealed patterns that challenge everything we've been taught about achievement, success, and what it means to truly thrive in business. She stands as a beacon for those working to transform how we understand economic empowerment, particularly for communities that have been systematically excluded from traditional pathways to wealth. For generations, we've been fed a powerful myth: the story of the lone entrepreneur, the visionary genius who, through superhuman determination and brilliant insight, builds an empire from nothing. We've enshrined this narrative in our culture, our media, our business schools: the self made billionaire, the maverick founder, the individual who rises above all odds. It's a compelling story. It's also profoundly incomplete. What if I told you that the most revolutionary form of entrepreneurship happening right now isn't about individual achievement at all? What if the true vanguard of business innovation isn't focused on personal success, but on collective transformation? This is the earth shaking revelation at the heart of Charlotte Engel's research. While we've been celebrating lone wolves and unicorn founders, a quiet revolution has been unfolding, and its leaders might surprise you. Black women are currently driving the fastest growth in entrepreneurship in America. Let that sink in. They account for an astonishing 89% of net new women owned firms launched daily. But here's where the story gets truly revolutionary. These entrepreneurs aren't primarily focused on individual achievement. They're systematically building ecosystems designed to lift entire communities. They're creating networks of support, mentorship, and resource sharing that extend far beyond their individual businesses. They're redefining what entrepreneurial success looks like, and in doing so, they're challenging one of capitalism's most fundamental assumptions: that business success is primarily about individual achievement. This shift from focusing on personal achievement to collective empowerment isn't just changing individual lives, it's transforming entire communities and may ultimately reshape our economy itself. Let me share three profound insights from Charlotte's research that challenge everything we thought we knew about entrepreneurship. First, Black women entrepreneurs aren't just starting businesses, they're simultaneously creating support networks and systems designed to benefit others. They're ensuring sustainable growth for future generations by building ladders and extending hands rather than pulling up drawbridges once they've succeeded. This fundamentally challenges our individualistic model of success. Second, despite the fact that women control $3.9 trillion in revenue and own over a third of U.S. employer firms, women, especially Black women, still face staggering disparities in access to capital and resources. The playing field isn't just uneven, it's designed to be impassable. And yet, they persist, finding innovative ways to create value despite systemic barriers. Third, the entrepreneurial journey for Black professionals involves unique challenges, including higher denial rates for loans and greater difficulty accessing external funding. Yet, through resilience and strategic networking, Many have managed not just to survive, but to outpace overall market growth. This suggests that the collaborative approach isn't just more equitable, it may actually be more effective. These insights don't just add nuance to our understanding of entrepreneurship, they fundamentally challenge our assumptions about what drives business success. They suggest that perhaps the most powerful form of entrepreneurship isn't about individual achievement at all. It's about creating systems that empower communities. Let me bring this to life with some extraordinary examples that Charlotte uncovered in her research. Imagine a young Black woman named Natalie Madeira Cofield who looked around and saw talented entrepreneurs like herself facing systematic exclusion from resources, networks, and opportunities. Rather than focusing solely on her own success, she founded Walker's Legacy, named after Madam C.J. Walker, America's first self made female millionaire who happened to be a Black woman. What began as informal meetups transformed into a national organization with chapters across major cities. They didn't just offer encouragement, they created concrete infrastructure, workshops on financial literacy, pitch competitions with actual seed grants, mentorship pairings with established business leaders, and direct introductions to investors. The results? Over 5 years, members reported an average revenue increase exceeding 30%. Several alumni launched multi-million dollar ventures or secured six-figure investments. Walker's Legacy now hosts annual summits attracting thousands, has awarded over $500,000 in micro grants, and has featured alumni on national media outlets. But here's what makes this truly revolutionary. Walker's Legacy hasn't just helped individual women succeed. It has helped normalize wealth building conversations among Black professional women while influencing policy changes regarding minority business development. It has created an entirely new ecosystem where success is measured not by how high you climb, but by how many you bring with you. Or consider Morgan DeBaun, who founded Blavity Inc. while still in her 20s. She recognized that mainstream media platforms consistently fail to authentically represent the voices and experiences of young Black professionals. Rather than simply lamenting this gap, she built a solution, one that would become one of the fastest growing digital media companies focused on empowering young professionals of color. Blavity faced enormous barriers. Venture capitalists were skeptical of niche platforms serving minorities. Brand awareness outside their core demographic was initially limited. The path forward wasn't clear. But instead of giving up, Morgan and her team leveraged grassroots marketing via social media influencers, hosted large scale events like Afrotech, connecting tech talent with top employers and investors, and cultivated authentic content that truly reflected the real life experiences of their audience. The results were transformative. Blavity raised millions from major VC firms after proving strong user engagement metrics. They expanded into multiple verticals, including travel and technology conferences. Afrotech became one of Silicon Valley's largest diversity focused tech conferences, drawing thousands annually. But again, the true revolution isn't just in Blavity's business success, it's in how that success has shifted perceptions within both Silicon Valley investment circles and mainstream advertisers regarding the value and potential scale when investing intentionally in diverse audiences. Blavity didn't just build a company, it changed how an entire industry thinks about inclusion and representation. Perhaps most striking, is the story of Jewel Burke Solomon, who co founded PartPick, an AI powered image recognition software for industrial supply chains that was eventually acquired by Amazon. Jewel faced blatant skepticism from potential investors who doubted her leadership capabilities due solely to race and gender bias. They questioned the viability of her niche B2B solution targeting hardware distribution and logistics sectors dominated by older white males. Instead of internalizing this rejection, Jewel and her team persistently pitched the demo days and accelerators targeting underrepresented founders. They won key early adopters among Fortune 500 clients who validated their product through pilot programs and contracts. This strategy eventually attracted Amazon's attention, leading to acquisition within just 3 years of launch. Today, Jules serves as head of Google for Startups US, mentoring other diverse founders nationwide. Her technology remains embedded within Amazon's infrastructure, improving efficiency globally. But perhaps most importantly, her journey has inspired countless other aspiring minority technologists and founders who cite her story as proof that the impossible is possible. These three stories reveal something profound about entrepreneurship that we've been missing. The most successful entrepreneurs aren't just building businesses, they're building ecosystems. They're creating infrastructure that supports not just their own success, but the success of entire communities. This insight challenges one of our most deeply held cultural beliefs that success is primarily an individual achievement. We've been taught that the path to success is to work harder, be smarter, and outcompete everyone else. We celebrate the self made individual who rises to the top through personal excellence. But what if this model is fundamentally limited? What if the highest form of success isn't individual achievement at all, but rather creating systems that empower others to succeed? This is the revolutionary insight at the heart of Charlotte Engel's research. The entrepreneurs she studies aren't just building businesses, they're building ladders. They're creating networks of support, mentorship, and resource sharing that extend far beyond their individual enterprises. And here's what's truly remarkable: this approach isn't just more equitable, it's also more effective. By building collaborative ecosystems rather than competitive hierarchies, these entrepreneurs are achieving levels of impact that would be impossible through individual achievement alone. This has profound implications for how we think about business, success, and progress. It suggests that perhaps we've been measuring success all wrong. Maybe the true measure of entrepreneurial achievement isn't personal wealth or individual recognition, but rather how many others you've helped to succeed. So, where do we go from here? How do we apply these revolutionary insights to transform our own approach to success? First, we must recognize that our current systems are designed to perpetuate individual achievement at the expense of collective empowerment. We must consciously reject this model and build new structures based on collaboration rather than competition. Second, we must invest in ecosystem building, not just in individual founders. This means supporting organizations that create infrastructure for underrepresented entrepreneurs, advocating for policy changes that address systemic barriers, and recognizing that the most powerful innovations often come from those who have been systematically excluded from traditional pathways to success. Finally, we must redefine success itself. What if we measured achievement not by personal wealth or status, but by community impact? What if the question wasn't, how successful are you? But rather, how many others have you helped to succeed? I challenge each of you today. How will you use your platform, not just your business, to create opportunities that uplift others? What step can you take this week that contributes meaningfully toward building an ecosystem where every voice is empowered? Because the true revolution isn't succeeding on your own, it's creating systems where everyone can succeed together. It's not about climbing to the top of existing hierarchies. It's about building entirely new structures based on collaboration rather than competition, on lifting as you climb rather than stepping on others to rise. This is the profound shift Charlotte Engel's research has uncovered, and it might just transform everything we thought we knew about what it means to truly succeed. The future belongs not to the lone genius, but to the community builder, not to those who hoard power, but to those who distribute it, not to those who succeed alone, but to those who ensure that no one is left behind. The question is, which future will you help create?